Hello everyone, I'm Mike Nelson along with Steve Richard, and welcome to this week's program. On today's show, in the next 30 minutes, you'll see the John Auto Parts Pure Later presentation of our NASCAR Winston Racing Series 4 Division action that took place on Saturday evening, August the 7th. As always, we'll have feature race highlights of the John Auto Parts Pure Later late models, AC Delco Pro stocks, Steel Street stocks, and Integra Bank Pure stocks. And as we go into this week's activities on the program, we have some really good track points battles going on in all four divisions.
We certainly do. We'll start with the late models. We've talked about them before. Charge and Charlie Cregan still on top. Tim Ice only about 5 points back, but Tim's not here tonight. Tim's out in Michigan running an Iceman race.
Auto City.
Okay.
Up there.
Steve Pellis just behind him, only about 5 points, so maybe Pellis makes some ground up on ice and on Cregan tonight. We talk about the pro stocks. Jeff Dunbar with a commanding lead there, but there are some interesting battles going on back a little bit farther with other competitors. But two other very close battles going on for lead positions in track points. Street stocks, Jack Satoski out in front, but not by a whole lot. He's ahead of Mike Heminger and Sean the Bullet Beam. So that's going to be interesting competition tonight and a really close battle. 4 points. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's only, what, 2 position changes in a feature.
Okay, in the pure stocks between Dave Brunel, who has not won a race here, you believe that?
Right.
And Scott Mitchell, who's won 5 times here, is only those 4 points back. So we're going to have to watch those guys tonight, and maybe there'll be some more position changes in points.
That could
As this beautiful field makes its way down the back straight, we'll post up the top 3 rows, and there's a lot of talent behind it.
A lot of talent behind these front 3 rows, but let's pay particular attention, Mike, to the front 2 cars. Randy Burke, Tom Erickson. Actually, Tom Erickson, one of the toughest guys to pass in this entire field of car. Randy Burke, last week in our Twin 35s, had 2 exceptional runs. In the first of the 35 lappers, he hung on to the lead for quite a while, and it's going to be up to Randy to bring this field of immense horsepower up to speed, and we're off to the races as they come down the front straight. It's Tom Erickson on the point. Let's go right into a live call.
Into turns 1 and 2, and look at this battle for the point. It looked like Erickson had gotten the jump, and Randy Burke says, no, you don't. It comes right back up on him as they work into turns. My goodness, oh my goodness. Look at the floodgates down the front straight. Side by side, wheel to wheel, 120 mile an hour, looking like a high-speed parade lap out there. Burke, and they're tracking the car with the 36. Look at this. Oh, 3 wide. Mabel takes the mayonnaise, throws it out the window. Forget Pete that sandwich. Into turns 3 and 4. And Tiger Tom breaks through for the point position. How about that one, race fans? 3 wide down the back straight. Oh my, let the horses out of the gate. Could you see that? They're trying 3 wide for the lead. Erickson, though, hangs on to it with the Powerflow 19 and Rick Miller behind him. And we're going to move on the event. A few laps later, watch this. Here's the lead cars coming by, and then we have a problem in the back of the field. There's a spin there by the 84 automobile. That's Danny Villers from Barberton, Ohio, and the 68 of Brad King Cole, the rookie. The 2, Ford of Greensburg, Integra Bank, Thunderbird of Marcatone, also parks that avoids a miscue. And we go right back to a direct restart.
And this is not the battle for the lead. This is the battle for 4th place. Here comes Charlie Cregan. He's worked his way from back in the 5th row, and he's continuing to press up toward the lead. He's now worked his way up just behind the back bumper of the number 75 of Barry Audi. Randy Burke still hanging in there, but a lot of pressure on him. We also had another incident. This is Rick Jock.
Yeah, it happened on lap 12, hitting the wall a ton in the front end there, Steve, and we go back to a restart, but look what happens. Dramatics, the Powerflow 19 of Rick Miller, not able to join the field on the restart.
And he was running second at the time, so that's very influential as to what happens, because look, here's the 42 behind Tom Erickson, charging Charlie Cregan now in 2nd place, and he'll set his sights on the point.
As we go into turns 1 and 2, Erickson does get the jump with the Nevin Trucking ultralight brakes 36. The rest of the field right there coming down this back straight. Randy Burke, who has started on the front row, has been falling back. Glenn Galt now gets by him, and at orange 32, here comes Stevie Pellis on the outside. That's the other orange car, the Beth Mining Coal 00, and like a rocket ship down the front straight, he passes the Sheets convenience store Kunstler Meat 34 machine into the 5th place position.
And we move on in the event. This is a battle for 3rd. Steve Pellis in the 00, the number 32 of Glenn Galt, side by side, and watch this. Down the front straight, door panel to door panel. Both these cars have managed to get by the number 75 of Barry Audi. He's continuing to hold on to that 4th place position. Pellis dirt tracks the car somewhat. The handling perhaps not set up the best, but look how close these cars get.
Oh, what a classic duel between these drivers, Steve. I mean, not only fender to fender, but watch this. My, how closer can you get than this? 2 veterans out there showing the stuff they're made of, and Steve Pellis continues that low side groove with the Beth Mining Coal 00. We jump ahead, though. It's lap 27, the battle for 3rd. Pellis, they've been going like that on, and now he tries it one more time on Galt after being denied. They work into turns 1 and 2, Steve Areno, and look at this. Stevie Pellis will make the move and come up for the 3rd place position.
And while that battle was going on, let's check out our leader, Tom Erickson. This is coming around for the white flag. 1 lap to go. Look at the lead he's established over Charging Charlie Cragen. The car is definitely hooked up and flying. The number 36, Bevan Trucking, ultralight brakes, generic chassis. Like that's a backyard chassis, and they've got it hooked up and flying. He's going to be coming around the final set of turns, and he's going to be picking up his 4th checkered of 1993 here at Jennerstown. He's been successful at other tracks too, Mike.
Yeah, you know, that's incredible for a home-built chassis, so to speak, into victory lane. It's a rare bird to see, but Tiger Tom and this week his car joins him in victory lane. As we look at the top 5, Tom Erickson, we haven't alluded the fact in Western Pennsylvania he's had, I believe, 5 wins at the Clearfield Mountain Speedway, of course 4 here, and a pair down at Motordrome. The only driver to win at all 3 Western Pennsylvania pavement area tracks. Tiger Tom in victory lane. Stay with us. There's more to come right after this.
Do you want a career that's in demand? Consider training as an automotive technician. According to the U.S. Department of Labor, demand is rising for skilled automotive technicians. National education centers can train you to become part of this growing field. You'll learn how to diagnose and repair today's complex mechanical and electronic automotive systems. Everything you need to get started as an automotive technician. This is a great career. Call NEC's Vail Technical Institute campus today. Call 1-800-722-7337. 1-800-722-7337. Call now.
Start your weekend on the right track. Motordrome Speedway. There's racing every Friday night at Motordrome, just off exit 23 of Interstate 70, Smithton. Racing starts at 8 p.m., but come early for the hot laps. Catch NASCAR Winston Racing Series action with drivers threading the needle at breathtaking speeds with 4 exciting divisions. It's a great way to spend Friday night with the family. So start your weekend on the right track this Friday with Motordrome Speedway, Smithton.
Roy Brothers Pontiac, Somerset.
We're back with the AC Delca Pro Stocks in their Giant Auto Parts Pure Later 25 Circuit Main. And let's take some time and post those first 3 rows up and analyze the rest of the field.
Bob Kossel, Kerry Tadero in the front row, both with wins here at Jennerstown this season, hoping to repeat again behind them. Wyatt, Wingard, Potter, Kessler, and back in the middle of the field, a number of feature winners, including the likes of Jeff Dunmeyer, who is our current points leader and has a good, solid lead on that track points battle as well. But it's going to be up to Bob Sprout Kossel to bring this field up to speed.
And he does successfully down the front straight as NASCAR Chief Starter Ron Brutt displays the green flag. And Beckwith Machinery Caterpillar Oldsmobile Body Port City car goes to the lead. We're still 2 by 2 in the middle of the field down the back straight. Tadero now holding on to second, begins to get pressure from the Pristos Outdoor Power Tools 49 machine of Denny Wingert from Johnstown. That's that red and black hood automobile as they drag race down the front straight. Momentarily, we're 3 wide right there with Jeff Dunmeyer working the outside.
You know, it says a lot about these drivers, Mike. A number of these pilots have been in late models in years past. They have dropped back to this Pro Stock division, and we have a number of rookies and sophomore pilots. The fact that they can run this close together and not have any problems says a lot for what they're learning.
It certainly does. And here's Don White, the Dunlop Transfer 19, fighting it out in the 4th place position with Chucky Kessler on the outside. The white Pennsylvania driver in the Midway Parts and Service 91, working it outside line with the 19 of White, still trying to make that move. Kessler's one of the faster cars in this division, and he's hooked up tonight, but he is having a struggle with Davidsville, Pennsylvania's Don Wyatt.
Wyatt still looking for a career first win, and Chuck Kessler has not been in victory lane this year, but he has been in victory lane in years past, so he knows what that's all about. We should also point out the number 07 of Jeff Dunmeyer running and trying to catch up to our leaders right now. He also ran the late model race a bit earlier in the evening, getting ready for next week's Laurel Highlands event, where we're going to be running a 100-lapper for late models. But we're still going to focus on these top 5 positions, and that's that battle going on for 4th place. Chucky Kessler just gets a nose ahead of Don Wyatt, but Wyatt's not about to give it up yet. Running 3rd, the number 49 of Denny Wingert. He has also been in victory lane in 1993. We're going to move ahead in this event, and this is a battle for 2nd place, and we are on lap 18, about the midpoint of this race. Chuck Kessler has worked his way through the field, and he's now pressuring Kerry Tadero for the number 3 spot. Meanwhile, Bob Kossel still running out on the point position.
Something very strange happens here, Steve. Watch this. Kossel down the back straight. Now, keep in mind this battle for second going on. As they work down the back straight, just when they get to the end of the straightaway, Jerry Wisner spins in turn 2. It brings out a yellow, and everybody focused there. But watch what happens here. In fact, even the cameraman fooled there momentarily. The 15 of Tadero, 91 of Kessler getting together. And your third place runner, Denny Wingert, also involved in this incident. Now that shuffles everything in the top 5 positions. When we go back to racing, we're going to be coming around for the white flag lap. And look at this, the powder blue and white 07er Somerset, Pennsylvania's Jeff Dunbar has been trying to close in on that high-flying Beckwith Machinery Caterpillar number 8 of Bob Sprout Kossel III. On the final circuit, Kossel has controlled the event.
And it's much the same as it was in our late model feature. Just running out of time and not quite enough horsepower for all of the competitors. It is going to be Bob Sprout Kossel. That team getting a little bit late start in this racing season, but they're going to pick up their second win here at Jennerstown in 1993 as he waves to the fans by the start-finish line.
Bob in victory lane along with Bill Dornan of Giant Auto Parts, and all the way from St. Louis, Kevin Glover with Purolator. As we look at the top 5 in this Giant Auto Parts Purolator sponsored event for the AC Delco Pro Stocks. Don White hanging in there in 5th place. He's going to be in a victory lane there one of these days. Bob Arsenberger finishes 4th.
Hey, Mike, you know, I'm getting a little bit hungry. I think it maybe is time to go out and grab some refreshments before we continue. Let's go to a race break.
This race break is brought to you by Pizza Hut. Sometimes you've got to stop and smell the pizza.
Well, at the beginning of the show, Steve Richard alluded to tire Cheetos, and that's what our race break's about this week. Tire Cheetos, what are we talking about? Well, essentially, we're on the turn of the track here. You can see the black area, that's where all the cars run, while the tire rubber's laid down. Up high in the gray area is where pieces of tire come flying off and end up piling up there along with some track dry material. We call that the loose marbles. When a car gets up in there, it can be problems trying to hold the car on a racing surface. But the pieces of tires don't actually look like small little pieces. We call them tire Cheetos. Let's go to the infield and I'll define and fine-tune what we're talking about. Here we are in the infield with our explanation. Now, most of you are familiar with Cheetos. Here are the edible type, and a technicality here. Where Cheetos is a brand name, we're really talking about corn curls. It's a lot like maybe cotton swabs to Q-tips, or flexible discs to Frisbees, or maybe doctors with poor German accents to Count von Whiplash. But anyway, these are the edible Cheetos. Now, there are 2 varieties. The original kind, the big, soft, round, fuzzy things like caterpillars on trees, and these crunchy type would have spent a lot of time in maybe the deep fat. Over here, we slide into the picture. These are tire Cheetos. Note the similarity. Obviously, the pieces of tires coming off aren't little round little balls like marbles, even though we call it up in the loose marbles, but they're actually looking like the Cheetos. Well, that's where the comparison ends, though, because with the Cheetos, well, the crunchy ones, they smash. The tire Cheetos, well, they don't quite do the same thing. The edible Cheetos are very light and airy. The tire Cheetos are not too light and airy. So next time you hear us talk about tire Cheetos, there is a comparison visually, color difference, but everything else is pretty much completely out of whack. So am I. Now, am I missing something in this description?
This race break has been brought to you by Pizza Hut. Sometimes you've got to stop and smell the pizza.
Now, reports of a legendary two-footed object have been growing.
Anything? Nothing. Must be big. Even Chet's seen it.
We're getting something.
Coming over the hill, Sarge.
Hit the lights, boys!
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot Pizza, the legendary value from Pizza Hut, with 2 square feet and a tasty new crust you can't get anywhere else, all for $10.99.
Okay, folks, let's break it up.
Bigfoot Pizza, the biggest pizza you can get delivered.
Start your weekend on the right track. Motordrome Speedway. There's racing every Friday night at Motordrome, just off exit 23 of Interstate 70, Smithton. Racing starts at 8 p.m., but come early for the hot laps. Catch NASCAR Winston Racing Series action with drivers threading the needle at breathtaking speeds with 4 exciting divisions. It's a great way to spend Friday night with the family. So start your weekend on the right track this Friday with Motordrome Speedway, Smithton.
New Stanton Auto Body. For over 25 years, the professional reconditioner for major auto manufacturers now offers its expert service to you. From major body repair to minor or complete detail work, our highly skilled and experienced staff will have your car or truck looking and driving like new. New Stanton Auto Body uses only original manufacturer's parts and supplies. Always quality parts, complete attention to detail, all at affordable prices. New Stanton Auto Body, Waltz Mill Road, New Stanton.
We're back with our Thunder
and Lightning
Zap division. The Steel Street Stocks, as they work their way down the back straight, we post up the first 3 rows. My goodness, Steve, we're going to get fired for this job. We keep this up. But look at the talent we have here in one of the closest divisions week in and week out at the Laurel Highlands Oval.
This division actually, Mike, comes with a money-back guarantee because they provide excitement week in and week out, and they guarantee that they're going to do it. And we have yet to be disappointed in 1993, as it's going to be up to that front row to bring the field up to speed, and we are bumper to bumper, side to side already.
A rookie with a lot of responsibility, Rick Melab in the 37, goes down into turns 1 and 2 in the point position, battles with the Budweiser 46 and Nick Rosa down the back straight. It looks like Melab's trying to take that point position by a half a hood length down the back straight, but here comes everybody else stacked up. Look at Tony Hirsch on the outside, the second row right there. Oh, a little bit of love tapping out there, I guess you could call it that, with the 73 of Mark Berkey, the thrift drug machine. Also out there, Boyd Wingert's boxed in with the 49 machine. Oh my goodness, Steve, there's the 75 of Brian Audie, that yellow and orange car, the Rose Lumber car, and here comes the 37 of Melab down the back straight.
You know, these cars are actually stacked up closer now than they were when we started the race, as they spread out 3 wide almost going into the turns. And there are a number of those former feature winners just trying to find some kind of an opening that they can work their way up toward the front. They're not having very much success right now. As you mentioned, they're all boxed in about 3-4 rows deep.
Oh, not only that, the problem with doing this lap after lap, if there's a minor miscue by someone and somebody else overcorrects or overreacts to their miscue, it could cause havoc all over the speedway. So we continue walking with soft shoes, sometimes door knocking and chrome fender denting out there in this division. Our Thunder and Lightning machines, the Steel Street Stocks, as they work into turns 1 and 2.
Rick Melab continuing to hold on to that point position, and oh, look how close not only the front 2 cars are, but everybody backing through that field.
There's
Nick
4
Rose,
grooves out there.
That's right, and they keep changing grooves up and down off the racing surface. Oh, a little fishtailing there, dirt tracking the car, and it's Melab continuing to hold on to that point position.
They try to make it 3 wide to battle for the lead, but Mark Berkey establishes himself to that lead position. But we move on 2 laps later. Here's the call.
Here comes Nick Rosa. He dives to the low side on the 37 of Melab. The battles for second. I don't know about this again. Watch it out of 4. Whoa! Whoa! Hang on to it, Boyd Wingert. Hang on to it. Oh, he seesaws the car back to perfect formation. Hire that man and put him in a lumberyard. Man, can he seesaw a steering wheel.
Anything to keep that car in control. Mark Berkey still out in the point position. This is that battle for second place, and here comes Brian Audie trying to work the low line, but not with much success. Now, we had an incident, a minor spin with Rick Sheeler, and what we're going to have to do is restart this field. So we're going to be coming around. It's lap 10. Mark Berkey still on the point. Brian Audie just behind him, but on the restart, oh no, the number 15 of Sean, the Bullet Bean, 97 of Tony Hirsch, and 72 of Mike Heminger getting together there. A couple of those cars going to be knocked out of the competition. The 72 of Mike Heminger gets knocked back in the back of the field, so we restart him up again, Mike.
And as they work out of turn 2, Berkey is getting tremendous pressure, but watch to the right of your screen, getting together Melab and Rosa, and it starts chain reaction of avoidance maneuvers. And look at the 88 of Randy Dietrich flying through that field. Everybody else getting through there. The 82 getting up in the air was Barry Gary. We'll look at it again from the turn 3 camera. Watch to the right there. You'll see Gary's car come along, that red and white car, boom, up in the air. He makes a quick spin. But for the most part, there wasn't any serious damage. Heminger also spinning at the last part of that as we continue on in this event.
And Mike, we're coming around for the white flag lap. It's Mark Berkey looking for a career second win, first in 93, but Dave Wilk, Jack Satosky have other ideas. They want to pick up another checkered to add to their trophy collection in their living room or up on their mantle. But Berkey continues to hold on to that point position. Dave Wilk taking the low line, sets him up for the pass, but we had an incident. Larry Lee Heminger spinning out in turn 2, and we're going to have to restart this entire field for a green-white checkered combination. Let's go to the call.
Look at Will, he gets a jump on the outside, and now Berkey can see him side by side in 1 and 2. Oh my goodness, here we go. Berkey to the low side, holds off Will. Jack Satosky down low. Look at Satosky work on Will. Satosky trying to pull something out of the bag of tricks, and it's not going to be a rabbit. He wants a checkered flag to come out of the hat. Here we go. The white flag. 1 second remaining. They go into turns 1 and 2. Satoshi sets up. Berkey works the low side. Satoshi looks high. He tries to work down the back straight and setting up. Look at Berkey hold him off. Down into 3 and 4, half a lap remaining. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Berkey right there. Jack Sadowski running out of time. He goes to the low side. Here's a drag race to the checker, and it's Mark Berkey.
Another great battle down to the checkered in the Steel Street Stock division in this Giant Auto Parts Pure Later sponsored 20 Circuit Main. Mark Berkey with career win number 2 over a close finishing Jack Satoshi in second place. Mike Heminger from the back of the field all the way up to 4th place position. An impressive run for him. Hey, Steve, we're going to keep things going here as we look at victory lane. We move on to our fireworks division.
Bang, 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 bang.
The Integra Banks Pure Stocks. I thought, what are we going to do with this sound effects guy? There's the top 3 rows, Steve.
Well, we've cleared the thunderstorm up, so the thunder and lightning is gone. Left with the fireworks, Conrad Presnell and Rick Ackerman on the point. Both of those gentlemen looking for a career first win here at Jennerstown, and I'm sure this would be the night they'd love to be able to do that. And Mitzi Shawless back in the second row would love to be able to do that as well as Ron Brutt drops the green flag. And Conrad Presnell brings this flock of automobiles up to speed. He quickly assumes the point position. Mitzi Shawless drops down on the low line. She's in third right now, battling Rick Ackerman for the number 2 spot. And Mitzi has come very close within recent weeks of picking up that career first feature win here at Jennerstown, but has fallen just short for a number of reasons. She's led up to the last lap a couple of times. She's also been involved in incidents. But right now it's Conrad Presnell on the point. And look at this. It's mayhem on the macadam, like all those cars stacked up behind him.
Rick Ackerman out there, he's working that outside group with the red 91 machine, trying to get around the female pilot from Somerset, Pennsylvania, Mitzi Shawless, and down to the low side in the blue 19, that is Scott Kokenar. Now as they go into turns 3 and 4, things begin to heat up and it gets crazy. Presnell loses a car and nowhere to go. Mitzi into that car after having some help from the 91 of Ackerman, it appears. Scattering of the field, and everybody gets by as we move on in the event. This will be the lead battle on lap 5, and it's the Terminator, Chris Kokenar. This is Scott's older brother, who's been running for a couple of years, diving to the low side of Ackerman's automobile as they struggle for the point position out of turn 4 down the front straight. Scott right behind his brother in the 19, but Chris Kokenar continues on the low line, determined to take the point position as the 91 of Ackerman fades up high.
And while Ackerman stays up in that high groove, brother Scott Kokenauer just behind him, hoping to find that same advantage. But right now it's Chris Kokenauer on the point position. We're going to move ahead in this event, Mike. We're coming up 2 laps to go from this point on. We're actually coming around for the 2 laps to go. Chris Kokenauer in the lead. He's managing to hold on, but here comes the Cobra. Mark Gordon, who has also been in victory lane at Jennerstown this year a number of times, hoping to make that return visit tonight. Ackerman's still in the hunt as well.
Well, as the Cobra works on the outside of the racing surface, keep in mind, he is a rookie, Steve, and he's won a slew of features, not only here at the Laurel Highlands Oval, but also down at our sister track, Motordrome. He continues dirt track in the car. Poor Rick Ackerman boxed in there, looking for a career first, falls back to 3rd, and here's this struggle almost into the outside retaining wall in this daring battle in an effort to try to get around Kokenar, but he denies him the opportunity, holds on to it. Here comes the Cobra once again, trying to strike down the back straight. 3 different grooves down there in a struggle for the point position. And Chris Kokenar, the one we call the Terminator from Somerset, holds on to that point. A last-ditch effort by the Cobra, and a little miscue determines the situation to spread right out on the lap of the 18 machine of Chris Kokenar as he grabs the checker in this Giant Auto Parts Pure Later 15 Circuit Main for the Integra Bank Pure Stocks.
The big guy back in victory lane for the 3rd time this season, and Mark Gordon just nosed out Rick Ackerman for 2nd place. And there's a look at that eventful crash. Mitzi Shawless, unfortunately, going to have to wait for another week for her first win.
I want to tell everybody as we wrap up this week's show, don't go away yet. We have some words of wisdom about how you can save some money at the Laurel Highlands Oval, especially for next week's big Riverside Supermarkets and Buy Low Foods presentation of the 26th Annual Laurel Highlands event. We'll be back after these messages.
Do you want a career that's in demand? Consider training as an automotive technician. According to the U.S. Department of Labor, demand is rising for skilled automotive technicians.